Today I want to talk to you about learning to like yourself. You know, when I was a kid growing up, I didn't really like myself. There were things about me physically that I didn't like. For instance, I was very tall and skinny, and so other kids would make fun of me and they'd call me Milt the Stilt, which was a sort of mocking nickname. It went with Wilt the Stilt, who was a famous basketball player, Wilt Chamberlain. I also had a big nose and big lips, and I had one classmate in junior high who just relentlessly, from 7th to 9th grade, just wouldn't let up, making fun of me for that. I was a bookworm, and because I was a bookworm, the kids in my neighborhood would make fun of me, calling me the professor. Along with that, I was a sickly child. I had severe asthma and fought another disease and wasn't able to go out and play sports in elementary school, though a lot of my friends, played sports and enjoyed doing that. So there really wasn't a lot to like. I also had big feet. When you're tall, unfortunately, big feet sort of comes with the package. And the other thing was this. I went to school with kids who were wealthier than I was. Their parents had more money. And so I would pretend that I didn't live in the neighborhood that I lived in. I can remember in junior high walking down a particular street and pretending that I was going to go farther and go into a nicer neighborhood, and then making some excuse that I had to go back for something, and then really turning down my street to go into my house. I was also ashamed of the fact that my parents, growing up in the South, had a limited education. And so I spent a lot of my elementary years and some of my junior years just spending a lot of time being ashamed of things and being really self-conscious and not liking myself. Then toward the end of junior high, I began to discover a few things. I began to believe that I was artistically made and that I had a purpose in life, that I had talents and I had abilities that could be explored. Some of those things I discovered when I was in church because I began to sing with the choir and I began to speak publicly. And through those experiences, I started to gain confidence in my ability to talk with people. The other thing you need to know was I was painfully shy too. I was an introvert, and I can remember my mom just saying, "Can you quit stammering and just express yourself?" And so what really happened more than anything else was my music teacher in 9th grade saw something in me and worked with me, practiced with me, and I ended up getting the lead in the 9th grade musical, where I had to sing and I had to dance and I had to memorize a lot of lines. That then gave me self-confidence, and I began to find that I had talents that I could build on. Many of those talents are talents that I use today. I am never afraid when I have to speak before a group of people. I'm not self-conscious. I've led worship in church services, so I'm not self-conscious about singing in public either. All of that, oh, by the way, if your ears are too big, your nose is too big, your lips are too big, your feet are too big, one thing about biology is you tend to grow into your body. Your head gets bigger, so your ears seem to get smaller. All of that seems to take care of itself. What I want you to get out of this is don't be ashamed of who you are. Don't be ashamed of what you are. And don't be ashamed of your family. There are some things in life that you can change, and there are other things you can't. I couldn't make myself shorter. When I was growing up, kids would make fun of you because of the color of your skin. Couldn't change that. And I began to discover that there were famous people who took advantage of their big ears or their big nose or other characteristics that they had and became famous in movies and other things. So there are some things you can change. There are some things you can't change. Keep something in mind. All of those things together make up who you are. And ultimately, you want to be the best you that you can be.